MMAT has fallen by 9.36%, breaking the $2 support zone, while MMTLP fell from $10.2 to $9.55. So, is this a good price to buy at? Sit tight as we answer that by going to important news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. The board of directors over at Meta Materials has announced that they have approved a common stock distribution for Next Bridge Hydrocarbons, which is a fully owned subsidiary of MMTLP. Once completed, this distribution will classify Next Bridge as an independent public company that will not, however, be available for trading. People that are holding MMTLP stock will get this exchange and their Series A stock will be discarded as MMTLP gets delisted from the market on 14th December 2022. Investors that purchase these shares through their transfer agent AST will automatically get the exchange done, but a majority of people are holding through banks or brokers, and the company has asked these people to contact their banks and brokers to transfer them to AST for the smoothest exchange experience. With all that in mind, let's analyze the chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for MMAT, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that we're already in a 6% gap up in the pre-market, right? That's 7%. Yep, it's a 7% gap up now. Well, that's pretty good. And as we already anticipated in our previous analysis videos, that we'll probably continue this trend we're building up, where as you guys can see, well, let me zoom out a bit more, right? We went up, got a pullback, went up, got a pullback, went up, got a pullback, and now we went up, got a pullback, and now we're about to go back up again. And I personally am aiming for a $2.5 target. Somewhere around that range, we'll probably get resisted by 2.5, right? So, even if we start over here, we probably should. Now, there are two cases, right? It will go up, right? It will go up, but there are two ways that it will go up. Either, it will get into a red candle today or a small green candle, right? Or even a red candle, but just a bit in the gap up segment. So we might end the day off in a positive, but at the same time at a red candle, right? Or what could happen is that we'll probably start a bull run today itself because we already have some good volume to answer to today, because of course yesterday was a market holiday, right? It was Thursday, it was Thanksgiving, I believe, right? I personally don't celebrate that, so I don't know. And yeah, anyways, coming back to the analysis, we can see that if we get a good bull run today, if we were to get a good candle today, we'll probably go all the way up around either 2.12, right? So that would probably mark a, let's see, that would mark almost a 14% rally, which is a bit difficult, right? But it still can happen because as we already discussed in the previous part of this video, that there are some good updates that indicate in the success of course the MMTLP going private stuff, right? It's being an what do you call it, non-tradable company. So of course short sellers will have to exit their positions, and that of course will be a great thing. And that is a squeeze basically, but leading up to that squeeze will be really interesting as well, because of course, and investors are anticipating that, let me quickly get in this MMTLP, that once MMTLP, the short sellers have to cover their positions, right? Once they're forced to do that, all of the profits, because this company is going private, right? So all of those profits will pour into MMAT, and as a result, of course, MMAT will go up. So that's MMAT to you. And I personally, if you ask me, where the stock will be by the end of this trend, well, I believe that we can probably hit at least $5 in, by the end of December. And after that, of course, the rest is kind of unpredictable. And I'm not even hoping for something way too crazy, right? It's a pretty reasonable thing to expect when you're talking about a 81 million share, or rather an 81 million share short squeeze. So if we go from the current price, that's still a 150% growth. And that's personally, I think that's pretty good. And we're getting a red candle today, right? So will we fall? Even if we do, we're pretty safe, right? We have this low that we made over here around 1.6. So we probably will get a low. Why did I say low? We probably will get a low all the way around here. I'm sorry, I kind of stutter. It's something that I cannot control. But anyways, right, if we come back into this range around between 1.75 and 1.8, right? We probably won't come back all the way around 1.75. And even if we do, right, if we take inspiration from the previous charts, because that's of course what we're going to do, right? We don't know how to analyze stocks. We'll just look at the previous patterns. So once we made this big candle, we fell down below it before continuing. Made a big candle, fell down below it. Made a big candle, fell down below it. And now we made a big candle, so we might fall down below it as well. But if that happens, of course, don't worry, right? I see a lot of investors, they just look at their stock and they're like, oh, hey, it fell by 10% today. Don't worry, brother. Don't worry, man, right? It will recover. Not financial advice, but yeah, it will recover. If you think that a company is good, a few losses here and there are probably fine, right? As long as you don't sell, they're unrealized, right? They're not even realized losses. But with that, of course, what do I expect, for the stock? I personally think that even if we get a big red candle today and come down all the way over here, right, falling below this low that we made, we probably should get a good gap up on Monday then, right? So we might just continue this trend that we're building and go up all the way around $5. But then again, it's a bit hard to believe that somewhat of a trend will last that long because I personally have not seen any trend lasting like an entire month. But of course, long-term trends do that. But when I mean trend, or rather when I say trend, I mean a trend pattern, right? So I don't see short-term trend patterns, especially such volatile short-term trend patterns, lasting that long. So I'm personally thinking that, this trend will be over with by the end of November, and we'll probably get a new trend to begin December with. But with that, of course, I believe that we've analyzed the one-day chart, so we'll quickly get on into the 1 hour chart. So now that we're in the 1 hour chart for MMAT, we can clearly see that yesterday we got a pretty good performance. Now this is red, then why is it a good performance? It's a healthy continuation for our bull run, right? We did get some support around $1.75 range. We got some resistance around the $1.85 range. Why didn't I mark that? $1.85. And right now we're facing resistance around the $2 range, which is pretty obvious, right? We will have some trouble breaking that. And of course, if we zoom out a bit, right, we can see that in the pre-market, we've got a green candle to red candles. And of course, this candle contains the current trend as well, the open market as well, the first hour of the market. But still, if we think of a possible reversal, right, we'll have to take into consideration the previous day's aftermarket and pre-market as well. So if you look over here, right, the pre-market seemed rather odd, but over here we can see that we got a similar trend as to what we're getting today, right? One green candle, two red candles. Why does this matter? It does matter. A lot of people think that, hey, the number of red candles that you get versus the number of green candles that you get doesn't matter because in the end, what matters is candlesticks and indicators and stuff like that. That's not entirely true, right? If we end this candle in red, we might actually start off another bearish trend, which of course will last for only like today or probably Monday as well, right? But in the end, we will get a good breather from this. We will continue the bull run, not financial advice again. But of course, I personally think that we have a lot more to analyze in the 5-minute chart. So let's quickly jump on into that. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 5-minute chart. And by the way, well, MMAT is recovering. We'll come back to that later. First up, we can see that we did get somewhat of a bearish trend. We did get a continuation yesterday. But after that, we hit a strong support around 1.78. right? Pretty much the $1.75 level, but we'll just call it 178. And of course, we got resisted at 1.85, right? On the aftermarket, we can see that we got some huge volume, not exactly huge volume, but huge volume in terms of aftermarket volume, right? That's a lot of volume. And over here, we can see that we fell down. But after that, in the pre-market, of course, we got a gap up. And now, if you look at the current trend, I believe that this over here might have been just a pullback, and now we'll actually test the $2 range. So will we be able to break that? Comment down below and let me know. But of course, coming back to our analysis, I personally believe that, it does have, well, I believe that we might just break it, right? And if we do, well, that's great. You all should be happy and you should probably comment some happy stuff in the comments. And we did break it. Let's go, right? That's a great thing. And this exactly is why I told you guys that, we might get a green candle today in the first part of this video. Of course, analysis does change with time, but we do need to take into account the pre-market movements. And as you keep analyzing, right, as you dig deeper, you go from the one day chart to the 1 hour chart, like we just did, right? We went from the 1 day chart to the 1 hour chart to the 5 minute chart, and that is how you correctly analyze any stock, right? You cannot get enough data by just analyzing the 1 day chart or just the 5 minute chart. You have to get all of these perspectives and then kind of, combine them together and make your own analysis and form your own opinion, and then turn on an indicator like, let's say, what, super trend. Sure, we can see that super trend has not even been activated, but it's currently somewhat of in a buy state, right? If we toss, what do you call this, if we start the EMA, we can see that we're above the EMA, right? If we start the CPR, right, I really don't think this would be beneficial for our analysis, but never mind, these are the indicators that I use most of the times. And of course, we are now at 1.99 cents. And will we be able to break the 2 cent, $2 resistance again? Most probably, right? There are two scenarios. I already explained it, and the rest is up to you to decide. Are you bullish or are you bearish? Do you think it will go up or do you think it will go down? With that, of course, you should always remember that this most definitely is not financial advice, and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.